Oh, hello. Yeah, I knew I was a little bit off, but I need to organize myself, and let's do this again. So, Nantong is a city uh, at the east-south part of Jiangsu province, and it's near Shanghai and Suzhou. This is a place where the Chinese started to doing engineering stuff and to be to be a modern country. This is the beginning of it. We have the first uh, like we have the first professional schools, to train physically talented people to work for the country. We have the first one in the whole uh, in Chinese history. We have Wolf Hill and How River in Nantong. These are beautiful places that was visiting. And in 2005, our GDP growth is the number one of the whole country. So you can see the economy is keep growing big, and during the years we're actually getting better. So this place is getting even more and more, more suitable people to have a good time here. So I've been here for 3 years. I was here for college. I was here for working. This is I got my first full-time job in here. So I have some mixed up feelings about this place because my hometown is still in Jiangsu. It's also in Jiangsu province. So I have a little bit, mixed up feelings for this place. It feels somehow like my hometown. In Jiangsu province, four seasons are being defined very clearly. You can clearly tell which season you're in, and it's also the same in Nantong. However, Nantong, because of its position, it's placed near the sea. So the air here is a little bit wet. So it also rains in winter, which in my hometown is rarely happen. Uh, but after all, this is a very comfortable city to live for me. So we have, so in Nantong is also it's not like this one place. It's a big place with six, no, eight different places. Some of them are pretty big and some of them are pretty small. Uh, you see, the place I am in is one of the small one, but also one of the most advanced one. I'm in Chongchuan. This is a place that this is basically the center of Nantong, and uh, all this big buildings, modern city life. Mostly we can have it in here. Uh, that's the basic information you need to know in Nantong. Um, like I said in last live stream, I said like most of people in China, we deal with our daily problems with our phone. We we can pay with our phone with Alipay or WeChat. We always receive information. We chat with people, and most of these kind of things you can do them with WeChat, which is quite amazing, I think. So in Nantong, it's also the same. You can use your phone for most of things, and there are not many people carrying cash nowadays. So if you consider coming here, whatever you're trying to traveling here and visiting here, all the facilities, all the settings are basically the same. Yeah, around the whole country. So if you watched my last videos and you know exactly where you are looking, where exactly you need to prepare it for to come in here. Uh, Nantong, you can, as the face of it, as uh, you know, when you look at it, you don't really find anything different. It's another city is near the sea, and it's also a very important port for China. But when you actually living here, you're gonna find some, it's not very clearly differences. But of course, because I'm Chinese, because I don't feel very, so that's the reason why I don't feel extreme different feelings. If you're a foreigner, if you came to China for the very first time, then you might have very different feelings about this. Or if you were living in Shanghai or Beijing, which is super major cities, then you're coming here, you're gonna have different feelings as well. So what I'm doing in here is just to describe the differences. I want to describe some differences between this place and those major cities and with my hometown. So let's start from the major cities, Beijing, Shanghai. I think all foreigners who came to China, their first step are mainly Beijing or Shanghai. In my opinion, I'm not sure, just in my own opinion, because those are the most significant city in China mainland. So so when you're hitting Beijing or Shanghai, you're gonna find there's a lot of people there, right? Everywhere, full people, everywhere packed it, and it's very hard to just walking around. It's even very hard to drive in a car because there are too many of them. So if you're driving a car in Shanghai or Beijing, you're gonna feel extremely terrible. That's the truth. Uh, when you live in Shanghai for a while and live in Beijing for a while, you can find the pace, the type of pace in the city was extremely rush. Everybody was so busy to going through one place to another, always running on the street, looking very nervous, going to the next places, next appointment. That's how Beijing and Shanghai feels like. Just can't feel this peace of mind when you live in Shanghai or Beijing. When you walk on the street, you can see everybody was walking very fast, very nervously, very urgent. But in Nanchang, this feelings is a little bit, it, the pace of this city is slowing down, and and you can walk on the street and feel very comfortable and slow in the city. So just on that point, I think Nantong is a lot better than Beijing and Shanghai because even though Beijing and Shanghai have everything, there the people who lives in it doesn't really live in there. Actually, I think they're surviving more likely, or maybe I just couldn't feel the whole pace because I have never actually lived in Shanghai. But I lived in here for a few years, so I know a little bit more about this place and that. Um, so that's the level pace. The stores, most of stores in Nantong, they opened at 10 a.m. You can imagine what kind of pace we're having now. Of course, you can see, oh, Shanghai do the same. But imagine, but Shanghai do that for a reason. We don't really. Let's no, let's have an example. All right. I know Shanghai. KFC in Shanghai they don't provide they, no they provide breakfast, right? In my hometown, Jingtan, KFC provides breakfast, but in Nantong, KFC doesn't provide breakfast because they didn't open until 9:30 to 10. So I think this is the place that if you're looking for a place to uh, live in a very long term, I think this is the place for you. And this is, of course, this is Beijing, this is Nantong. But also, Nantong, like I said, is a modern city, is an economy. The GDP growth is number one in the whole country. It's not even in the whole provinces in the whole country. So you can see the economy is growing. So we are a modern city. We do have those things that all these major cities have. We have shopping mall. We have enormous shopping malls, and we have two of them. One is near here. It's called Golden Eagle, and the other one is a little bit there. It's called the Middle East, Middle South. Both of them are very it's like those international shopping malls you've seen through the world. So we do have those kind of modern life, all right, those modern life kind of lifestyle, but we also keeps the pace slow. So I think that's the perfect comparison, and just these two made me think that this is the place that was good for living and good for like enjoying a life in here. Now we are building subways in here, so as you can see, like a few years later, this place transforming will be very a lot more smoothly because it's subway. There's only I think most of the major city have subways, but cities like this place have subways is not very. It's not like all of the place in China. So just to me, working and living in here, I think this is a this is a comfortable city to live. This is the first of all, and of course, also gonna do a comparison with my own family, my own hometown. Me personally, I came from Jingtan. It's a little town. It's a part of Changzhou, which is also in Jiangsu province. So we're actually pretty close. If you're driving a car, it takes 2 hours and 30 minutes. You can you if you started in here and you're driving to Jintai, it took only 2 hours and 30 minutes. So it's very close, and it's it's rather close, and of course. Um, so the weather there and the basic environment are basically the same here and there. But like I said, because Nantong is near the sea. Nantong is near the sea, so it's getting a lot. It's it's gonna rain in the winter, and so that's the difference. That's the parts that I don't really like in these places. Confuse me all the time. Comparison, I think, is a little bit like London, mostly in the winter. All right, but we're not like cold all the time. We have divided different seasons. So that's what I meant when I said to. But comparing my hometown to this place, my hometown is not as modern as this, all right, but have the same pace, have a slow pace of lifestyle. So Nantong is basically the lifestyle of my hometown and the modern city like Beijing and Shanghai. So it's a very good uh, combine. Uh, this place, I think, is one of the best city I've ever lived. So if anyone trying to have a live in here, have a visit here, I do recommend this place. I like it here, and I hope everyone who's coming here can enjoy it. All right. So it's about Nantong, and that's what I thought. Also, you can leave a comment below and like our videos and our blog, everything. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment below, and I will answer them in my next live stream. All right. Goodbye.